name is Dr. Emily Balchetis. I wanted to talk to you about the quantitative and programming skills preparation statement that we're requiring of our PhD applicants to the social psychology program this year. It's a new requirement, and it might not be one that shows up in other applications to other schools that you're considering. And so I wanted to give you some examples here. I'm going to walk you through 3 different students who completed or responded to each of these prompts to give you some sort of sense of what kind of content you might put into each section and how to approach this statement. The first is completed by somebody who graduated with her bachelor's degree and then had a 1.5 years of research experience as a lab manager before she was applying to the PhD program and before she filled out this form. You can see under courses, she's turning only to those experiences she had in her undergraduate years because she wasn't taking courses after she graduated. She references those courses from physics, from statistics, from experimental methods, and gives us some information about the types of modeling that she used, the types of statistics that she learned in those courses, or different relevant in-depth mathematical experiences in those classes. When asked about computer programming skills, she doesn't know any, so she simply said that she doesn't have any. When asked about statistical software, she references SPSS and then gives a little bit of a statement to describe the depth or the scope of her knowledge and expertise. She references being able to do mixed level models to analyze different research projects, and because that's an advanced technique, she wanted to highlight it here. And she uses Excel. When asked about analyzing her own data, she is not trying to be repetitive with her curriculum vitae because she does go into a lot of depth in the projects and experiences that she's had in her CV. So rather than reiterate them here, she's just simply referencing that she's had many because we'll have already seen that. She does highlight that she's analyzed questionnaire data within her honors research, and then lists all the different types of statistical techniques and methodologies like eye tracking that would require more sophisticated statistical techniques like mixed level models. She's highlighting those more advanced experiences here. And then within the last question about other research experiences, again, because we all have seen on her vita that she has had a variety of experiences, she's just highlighting that she has taken a project from the start, from designing the theory, all the way to the end of writing manuscripts, and then highlighted that she's proficient in Qualtrics and Excel and SPSS. A second student who completed this prompt had graduated from his undergraduate at the University of Istanbul and was currently in the master's program at the time that he completed this before applying to the PhD program. So again, with his coursework, he divides it up between what he gained as experiences in his undergrad and what he was doing in his master's program. He turned to the classes in behavioral statistics, his experience with finite math, and a computer programming proficiency assessment that he had conducted, and gives us some detail after each one so that we can get a sense of the types of modeling or analytic techniques that he gained experience with. Now here, in terms of programming languages, this man does list SPSS, unlike the previous example. And that might be because he uses syntax in SPSS to do his programming. And syntax within SPSS is a type of programming language, and because he uses that and has familiarity with that, he's listing it here. Again, he reiterates the 3 programming languages that under the heading of statistical software, but gives us a little bit more information about the context of having used those programs to analyze his data. Here, under section 4, have you analyzed your own data? He describes what he did in his undergraduate years. He talks about some research courses that also trained him in data analysis. He talks about his honors thesis and what he did within the context of that, and then a class that he has in his master's degree that also gave him experience in training using R to analyze different types of data. And finally, under additional experiences, he describes and highlights those different labs that he's participated in and some of the experiences he's had as a research assistant, like behavioral coding. He's had experience with analyzing fMRI data and survey questionnaires. With a mentorship from a PhD student, he also gained some experience. He talks about his honors thesis and the work that he did there, and then some other volunteer experiences and the types of training that they're offering him. Again, you don't need to reiterate what's in your CV, but this might be an additional opportunity to bring to light some additional experiences or trainings that you've had that we might not be aware of. And finally, the third person that I'll highlight is in a master's program, has had ample research experience, and had been preparing him or herself for research in neuroscience and computational modeling. So you'll see that a lot of what is written in these sections is to highlight the training and preparation for that type of study. So under coursework, again, this person has separated or identified those courses that are from undergraduate at Rutgers University and those courses that are coming from the master's program at New York University. This person is referencing the statistical training from the quantitative methods and describes the types of techniques that they had experience with. Also describing training in calculus, and then from the economics courses, there is some modeling techniques that were used there that are also relevant to what this person wants to study in their PhD. Within their master's program at New York University, you can see some other courses, description of other courses and the types of techniques they had experience with. And then also this person was describing some of the courses that they've done online on their own, including from Coursera. And these gave familiarity with linear algebra, neural networks and deep learning, and other forms of neural network analysis. And again, these weren't in the context of formal training at a university, but were also really important for preparing this person for their PhD studies. Then under programming languages, this person has described the 4 languages that they have familiarity with, and then gave some sort of sense of the types of projects that applied those languages. Under statistical software, they just simply list those software programs that they've had familiarity with. Under analyzing their own data, they broke this down into questionnaire, behavioral, and eye tracking data, and gave some hint to the types of techniques or technologies that were used, including the type of eye tracker that was used and the type of analysis that was conducted to analyze those data. And lastly, under research trainings, they describe additional mentorship from a doctoral student and the research meetings that they participate in weekly. So there's many ways that you can fill this out. This is just an opportunity for you to showcase some preparation or trainings that maybe don't show up in other formats. Maybe they don't appear in your vita, maybe it was hard to reference them in your research statement. And this is just to highlight that there are many ways that you can gain experience in math, in quantitative analysis, and in programming to showcase the many ways that you could have been prepared in those areas. So I hope this is helpful. There's not necessarily a right or a wrong way. This is just another opportunity for you to showcase what you have to offer.